In a small town where everyone knew each other, there lived a smart and hard-working young man named David. He had big dreams, to be the best student in his class, to learn new skills, and to build a successful future. However, David had one habit that was quietly creating problems in his life. He talked too much. Whenever he learned something new, he couldn't keep it to himself, telling everyone about his plans, dreams, goals, and even his personal thoughts. David believed that sharing his plans would keep him motivated, and he enjoyed the praise and admiration he received from his friends, parents, and even teachers. But despite all the talking, success wasn't coming. His results on the last exams were mediocre, and he couldn't understand what was going wrong. To make things worse, some people started to mock him. Feeling down, David went to his grandfather's house for the weekend. Seeing him silent and sad, his grandfather asked, "What's wrong, my boy? Why are you so upset?" David confessed, "I tell everyone about my dreams, but I can't achieve them, and lately, I feel like I'm losing interest in them." His grandfather listened carefully and then said, "David, it's because you're sharing your dreams with everyone. That's why you are losing interest." David was surprised, and his grandfather nodded and began to tell him a story. Many years ago, in a village, there lived a poor but hard-working farmer named Thomas. He dreamed of building a large farm full of crops and one day living a better life. Every day he worked hard in the fields and saved every penny he could. But Thomas had one rule. He never shared his plans with anyone. People often asked, "Why do you work so hard all the time?" And Thomas would simply smile and reply, "You'll understand in time." Years passed. Slowly, Thomas bought one small plot of land, then another. He grew crops and made money. One year, he built a proper farm. The next year, a beautiful house. Everyone in the village was shocked. They had no idea how he achieved so much. One day, an old friend visited him and asked, "Why did you never share your dreams with anyone?" Thomas smiled and said, "When you talk too much, two things happen. First, people try to discourage you. Second, you spend your energy on talking instead of doing. Silence protects your goals. Words are like arrows. Once released, you can't take them back. I wanted my success to speak for me." Hearing this, David began to understand. His grandfather added, "My boy, when you talk too much about your dreams, not everyone will be happy for you. Some will try to bring you down. Also, when you talk about your goals, your brain starts to feel like you've already achieved something, so your motivation to work hard drops." David was silent for a moment, then asked, "Grandpa, how can I change?" His grandfather smiled. "From today, talk less about your plans and focus more on action. Let your success be your voice. Remember, silence has a powerful energy." That day changed David. He stopped telling others about his plans. He studied harder, worked quietly, and avoided unnecessary conversations. Months passed, and David noticed a clear change in himself. His confidence grew, and he stopped caring about people's opinions. This time, on the final exam, David got the top rank in the school. Everyone was surprised. His friends asked, "How did you do it?" David just smiled and remembered his grandfather's words. "Stay silent, and you can achieve anything." A few years later, David became a successful entrepreneur. His story inspired many. He proved that true success comes from doing, not just from talking. The most powerful voice is silence. Talk less, work more. Let your success speak for itself. It's important to remember not to share everything with everyone, especially your dreams, goals, and future plans. Keep them to yourself until you have made real progress, because sometimes simple conversations give a false sense of satisfaction, and that satisfaction slows down your hard work. Strengthen yourself so much that your work becomes your language and your success becomes your answer. Work in silence, and when the time comes, the world will know what you have achieved.